You're tuned in to the Dakota Housing Network on Super Talk 1270 and supertalk1270.com. In-depth discussion and analysis of real estate issues nationwide and those issues unique to our area. Our team of experts includes Joe Sheehan, Greg Larson, Dave Floor, Brian Ritter, and a great variety of guests. The Dakota Housing Network begins now on Super Talk 1270 and supertalk1270.com.
And welcome to December. I'm Greg Larson, your host, here with Dave Floor and Mr. Housing.
They call me.
Yep.
That's
and
Joe calls me that.
The mortgage maestro is somewhere in the mortgage mobile seeking the mythical lowest interest rate ever.
In the Joe mobile.
Call in, Joe. We miss
Joe.
you.
Tell us where the lowest interest rates are at.
The holy grail of real estate.
There you go.
All right. How are you today, Greg?
I am good. I am, as of yesterday, an official North Dakota Association of Realtors dead president.
Dead president?
Dead president. My
There was
tour.
a band called Dead Presidents.
Yeah.
Are you in that now?
Yeah, right.
We look forward to seeing your face on money.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
And keep looking for that.
Well,
Okay.
no, they're talking about replacing the, is it the $10 bill or
Yep.
the 20?
Which one is Jackson?
Jackson is the 20.
That's the one they're
That's the one,
replacing.
yeah.
Okay.
And I will not put on a wig to get on that bill.
Won't
No.
you? Okay.
No, they'll have to settle for. Who is it they're talking about? I can't
Rosa
remember.
Parks,
Oh,
Susan B.
Rosa
They're
Parks.
talking about
Susan
a
B.
woman.
Anthony
Susan B.
and
Yeah.
Rosa Parks. Yeah.
No, there's an argument for, and actually made by Elliot Eisenberg, for changing the $10 bill because that's Hamilton, and they said Jackson did more for the country. Because he started the treasury and everything.
Yeah.
That they should leave him on the bill and take Hamilton off.
I don't agree with that, by the way.
Don't you?
Hamilton was the architect of the whole economy.
There you
The
go.
whole
I
system.
don't- Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Well, we always like interest rates, Greg.
Interest rates are good. Before we do that, we got to say happy birthday to Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, Ozzy Osbourne. How old?
He's 67 today.
Well, that's...
Good boy, Jeff.
67. No, that's in human years.
That's in human years. In Ozzy years, he's 150.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, let's talk about interest rates. All right, we're playing Ozzy today, aren't we, Jim?
Yes, we are.
All right.
Sabbath. We're
67
gonna mix
years
them in.
old. That's all the older he is?
And he's a grandfather. Ozzy is the Prince of Darkness, is a grandpa.
All right.
That's scary.
Yeah. Well, things change in the world, and odd things happen through the years, and this is one of them.
So,
Ozzy
Bobby,
is still
what did you
alive
do with
to be a
Grandpa
grand-
this weekend?
Ozzy
Ate a
and
bat.
We sang songs about the devil. It was weird.
Ozzy is kind of like Keith Richards. How is that guy still alive? Right?
It's a great question.
But I love the meme on Facebook with Keith Richards saying, I outlived Elvis, Michael Jackson, and Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Bet you didn't see that one coming.
No, not at all. Well, and Ozzy, they could do the same thing for Ozzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Okay. Anyway, interest rates. The 30-year fixed, and this is the Freddie Mac survey. The 30-year fixed rate mortgage averaged 3.93% for this week, ending today, December 3rd. That was down from last week when it averaged 3.95%. And the 15-year was at 3.16. That's down from last week when it was at 3.18. So no big changes. But I will tell you today, so far this morning, the markets are having a little turmoil, and interest rates are probably, the price sheets are probably changing as we speak here. Rates are probably going to tick up a little bit today. Well,
They've been ticking kind of down, so ticking up is...
Yeah, well, they'll probably go up an eighth today, I would guess. So it's a good day to lock, put it that way. Yesterday was even a better day to lock.
Call your lender today and lock if you're in the middle of a purchase.
Yeah. But we have a big jobs report coming out tomorrow.
Yes, and that's not Steve. That's actual jobs.
Actual jobs.
Okay.
Yes, not Apple. Jobs at Apple. This is jobs, period. And big job report. And then, of course, they're expecting it to look good because the jobless claims that came out yesterday was a good report. And apparently some Challenger report, which looks at announced layoffs, was good, a good report.
Yep.
So they're looking at the jobs report as being very good. And that just lends more credence to the Fed raising rates on the 17th or whatever it is that they're meeting, or the 15th or something like that. So
Just in time for Christmas.
just in time for Christmas, interest rates will go up. But you know what? Guess what? The market's probably already pricing that in right now.
Yeah.
So the rates probably won't. They might go down after the Fed. We'll see. That's happened before. So anyway, okay, so that's that. But anyway, our friend Barry Habib at the MBS Highway, as I talked about, that's what he said today was, the job reports look good. It's pretty much a certainty the Fed's going to raise their rate. And he's recommending people lock their rates in now, today, if you can. So it would be a good day to do it. All right. What else are we going to talk about today? We got some stuff. We've
got
your stats.
I do. We've got a good look at the housing market, and we've got a good look at the national market. What's happening? I have the economic forecast outlook put out in November of 2015 by Dr. Lawrence Yung, the chief economic officer at National Association of Realtors. And we'll look at some national indexes, which all, frankly, look pretty good for the Midwest.
Okay. I have a joke for you.
Oh, good.
A realtor joke, even.
All right.
I don't know if it really is a realtor joke.
But it will be today.
It is today. Okay. A girl was visiting her realtor friend, and he just gotten 2 new dogs. And so the girl asked the names, and the realtor said, well, one's Rolex and one's Timex. And the girl says, well, those are strange names for dogs. And he goes, hello, they're watchdogs.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. That's my realtor joke for the day.
Okay.
It might be the last one I ever tell.
Oh, no, because it's bound to get better, Dave.
It's bound to get better. Okay, all right. Well, that's all we can hope for, I think.
Right.
Okay, I got something else. This is kind of fun if I can find it here. Nope, not there. How much does a penny cost to make?
No clue.
Okay, Jim, do you know?
I remember a long time ago somebody talking about that, some article I read somewhere, but the point was that at the time they were saying that it costs more to make than it is worth.
Right, okay. Well,
Right.
The U.S. Mint, they've cut the cost of a penny by nearly a third over the past 2 years. They were directed by Congress to try to do that. So they did some stuff with how they produce it and that. So they cut the cost by a third. It costs 1.7 cents in 2014. That was down from 2.4 cents in 2011.
Weren't they going to modify the alloy, take out some of the copper, and put something else in?
They did some different stuff to it. Now,
Should make it out of dirt.
how much does it cost to make a nickel? This is even worse.
Well, what's in a nickel? There's nickel in a nickel, or there's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I think a little bit of silver, maybe a little bit of copper. I don't know.
It used to be 11 cents in 2011. To make a nickel, it's down to 8 cents now.
All right.
Well, see, we're getting better at our job.
And exactly. No, but interestingly enough, other coins make a profit. Okay.
Oh.
A dime, what do you think?
There's a lot
8
of
cents.
silver in a dime.
Okay. You've got 8 cents.
8 cents?
What do you think?
I'd say 9, just
Okay. 663-1270 if anybody wants to guess.
Okay.
Real quick. But anyway,
I'll give them a Subway gift certificate if they get it right.
if they get it right. Okay.
Okay.
And then we'll do this when we come back. And
All right.
then what does a quarter cost to make? We'll do that when it comes back.
All right.
Greg, your guess?
22 cents.
22 cents. Okay. Jim?
I'll say 21.
Okay. 663-1270 if you want to call in. Jim's got a Subway gift certificate for you. If not, well, we get it then.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Are we going to be back?
Hopefully, we'll be back if the FCC says it's okay.
Okay. All right.
Currently, it's 28.
Bismarck Bobcats hockey action. Follow the Cats here on Super Talk 1270.
And welcome back to the Dakota Housing Network. I'm here, Greg Larson, with Dave Fleur.
I'm feeling
So
paranoid.
adorable to see you
Jim
guys
Walsh.
bobbing your heads to the music.
That's right, yeah. Guys our age, at least we don't have to worry about messing up our hair.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
And somewhere out there in the vapor is Joe Sheehan. He is not a myth. He is not a legend. He's an actual person.
Yes.
One day he'll be back.
Okay.
So guess what happened today in 1826?
Okay. I don't know.
George McClellan, General George McClellan was born. And that's not a big deal unless you've been listening to the show faithfully because we've talked about him twice.
Okay.
He was Robert E. Lee's roommate at West Point.
Ooh.
Oh.
He was the general in charge of the infantry during the Revolutionary War, or the Civil War.
Yeah.
The other side of General
Yep.
Lee.
And he got fired by Abraham Lincoln because he refused to attack his roommate.
Ah.
Yeah.
So he got fired. So that guy was born today. Interesting story. The finish of him is he went on to be a great military trainer and advisor.
He ran for governor of New Jersey.
Ran for governor of New
He got
Jersey.
elected governor of New Jersey.
Yep.
Well, there we go.
And died a very wealthy man.
Yes.
So just because he didn't want to beat up on his buddy,
Okay.
he, but
Bobby
he did
Lee.
well.
Wonder if he had any pennies.
Any what?
Pennies.
Pennies.
You know, 'cause
Well, if
they're
he
not
had them
worth that
now,
much.
because, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. He'd be a loser. That would have been a good investment.
Well, he hated Lincoln. You know, he called Lincoln a gorilla.
Well,
Okay.
after you get fired, you know,
Yeah, well, yeah.
what's the cost?
All right. Okay, well, we had our contest.
We have
no,
our contest.
No calls.
No
Okay, no calls. Okay, a dime. It costs 3.9 cents to make.
Wow.
That seems like a good deal.
That's the deal.
A quarter, 9 cents.
9 cents.
That seems like a good deal. I think we should be
So obviously the
eliminating.
cost is not in the raw material, clearly.
The penny was 1.7 cents, and the nickel was, what did I say the nickel was? 8 cents. So I really think we should be getting rid of the penny and the nickel and just round everything up to a dime. We would save, they said if they stopped making the penny, they would save $52 million. And they didn't say what it would cost or what it would save if they quit the nickel, but man, that'd be a lot of money too.
Yeah.
They should do that.
They should. And
I
it would
wouldn't
probably
mind.
cost me, rounding up, probably cost me maybe $20-$30 a year.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. No, you know, obviously to some people that's important, but you know, I'd be for it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk
Let's talk
real estate
statistics.
mortgages stuff.
All right.
What do you got?
Interesting year 2015 has been. Year to date, as of the end of November, and I'm talking now Bismarck, Mandan, City of Lincoln, Bismarck Rural, Mandan Rural, outlying towns around the area. So it's our market area.
Yep.
It's about a 100-mile radius around Bismarck, Mandan.
Okay.
Number of units sold so far is 1,201.
1,201.
That's single-family homes only.
Okay. So
This
no
time,
townhouses,
no townhouses,
condos,
no condos,
just the
no lots,
usual
no duplexes,
single-family
right.
detached house. Okay.
And in 2014, that was 1,288. So we are off 87 units.
Okay.
That's a tick down of 7%.
Yep.
That's above 2013.
Ah, there we go.
So
okay.
14 either was a high anomaly but what we're seeing really is an adjustment and probably a healthy one
Yeah.
in housing, because most of these I think are upper end houses. And we've talked about the compression of the market before. Average list price is up 4% from $261,000 to $271,000. Average sold price is up 5% from $256,000 to $269,000.
Okay.
Days on the market is about the same, and we're getting the same percentage of sale to list price of 98, 99% consistently.
Okay.
So when we take that and then we look all the way across the boards here to everything residential. Now, this is not commercial, triplex, fourplex, manufactured housing, which is having a great year, by the way. But, and I'll talk about that. Duplex is all of it. We're off 7%, 1664 to 1549 in numbers of units sold. We're up 3% in average list price. We're up 4% in sold price. So, you know, the market, we're hearing people say the market is awful. It's really taken a turn. It's the same as it was in 2013 or a little better. It doesn't meet 2014.
So it's the same.
In 2013, coming up, it was great.
Which is interesting because, okay, I would say 2014, were we still looking at less number of homes on the market, or is that just a perception?
That's correct. There were fewer homes on the market, so there was more of a pressure to buy.
Okay.
And the beginning half of 2014 was gangbusters.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's a reaction to oil prices a little bit, people being a little more conservative. I think it's that. Plus, people have a choice now. It's turning more towards a
little bit of a
moderate
buyer
market, or maybe a little buyer's market.
Okay.
You know, but if it's priced right at selling, I just had a home sell in 5 days. So,
Yeah.
you
No, I've
know,
noticed.
it's a healthy market.
Yeah. Okay. And I've noticed some homes. You know, I go out and look at the listing. I just on the Bismarck Mandan home site, and you know, there's some homes out there that seem to have been there for a while, but you know, I don't know what issues they might have that would prevent them from getting sold right
Yeah.
away like you had. But it really comes down to priced right, and then the buyer that comes along that's the house I want.
Right.
And you can't always match that up all the time right away.
Yeah. So I said we'll talk a little bit about manufactured housing. I'm going to talk about, as a realtor, we don't sell new manufactured housing.
Okay.
What we sell is existing manufactured housing that are set up that we list and sell. We are not in the new manufactured housing business.
Yep.
All right. Our numbers are off by 19%.
Okay.
Okay. That's not a surprise. There are some independent mobile home listing services that are doing well, but we are off at 19% for a whole market area. So I got curious, and I called the Manufactured Housing Association and asked them how new housing sales are going. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're up 44%, so that's a pretty healthy market.
Wow. What is the indication of what's driving that?
They just said that they're, I asked them what ranges they're selling, and it's their medium to upper range. So these are homes that are $120,000 to $160,000, I'm guessing, right in that range.
Okay.
Just below the low end of a single-family residence. And frankly, you can get a lot more house. You're still going to pay a lot rent and stuff. But there's a lot more home for $150,000 in a manufactured home right now than there is in an existing home. So,
yeah, okay.
I think that's pushing the market.
Was that statewide or just this area?
That's this. Well, their
number.
Their number, and that was for this area.
Just for this area.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
that's interesting. So if you're paying lot rent, I don't know do you know what lot rent is now? Nice park.
The last home I listed was this summer, and that lot rent was $325.
Okay.
And that included water.
Okay. So yeah, that's a reasonable house payment, and then like you said, you're getting more.
Well, it's
house
nicer,
for that price. It's a new home.
Yeah.
And it's square footage. It's probably just as good or better. Than what's out there for that same price roughly. So okay.
So it's a good niche for them, and a value part of housing. It's just
absolutely.
Especially
we've talked about that, how it's actually a great option for a lot of people because it is more affordable.
Yeah.
And if you're okay with that housing and living in a park, that's okay. Or you get your own land and put it out on your own land.
Yeah.
So you got options. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, good market. No doom and gloom yet.
Well,
by any means.
Yeah. November was off. August was off a little. September was off a little.
Okay.
October was off pretty significantly, and November was off somewhat in numbers sold.
Yeah. Okay.
November, actually, the average list price was off, I think 2%. 2%, and the average sale price is off 2%. Overall, though, year to date, it's good. And still, if I take those numbers that look not so great in November and go back to just a year back, 2013, we're right on track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we've noticed at our agency, which we primarily buy loans that are for first-time home buyers from our lenders, and this year business picked up. Whether we're more competitive now with our rates, not necessarily so, I don't think. But I think more homes have come into. There's a little more inventory is a little bit better, and I think people have seen here's an opportunity to buy something, and I think that's what we've seen because our number of loans that we purchased this up. So
and I think that's true.
Yeah.
And that all actually ties into the Housing Affordability Index, which we've talked a little bit about, and I've got the current statistics here. This isn't an index we do locally. It's just too difficult, but we do it. I pull it off the National Association of Realtors. And when we get back from the break, we'll probably go into that. We're rolling into a break. So I just want to ask you, what else happened of significance today? If you're a movie freak.
Besides McKellen or Aussie.
Yeah, if you're into the movies and that kind of stuff, one huge thing happened today.
Okay, how long ago?
It was in 1947.
47 in the movies. I don't know. Well, Oscars were awarded before that.
Marlon Brando debuted on Broadway
Oh,
in
wow.
A Streetcar Named Desire.
Stella!
Or
Stella,
Sharon! Or
Stella,
Was that
I
from that?
could have been a contender.
Oh, wrong movie.
Yeah.
Wrong movie. All right.
I liked him. Guys and Dolls was on last night with him and Sinatra. Luck be a lady tonight.
Was that your Frank's impersonation?
No, I
or
think
your
Dueling Brando.
that was
Dueling
Marlon.
Brandos? There we go.
The guy
Okay.
was going to do you this favor.
Okay. Well, we'll take a shot in the dark here, and we'll be back after the break, right?
Currently, it's 28.
Bobcat Hockey, live on the radio or anywhere with the Radio Pup app. SuperTalk1270.com.
Well, all right now.
Wow, we're back. Dave Fleur is playing his air guitar. Jim Walsh is going to give himself a migraine, bobbing his head.
Oh, Jim, what are you doing?
I'm
over there?
trying to decide if this is something I've ever heard before. Of course, it is. It's
Sweet Leaf.
Sweet Leaf.
When we know what they're talking about.
Wacky
Yeah.
tobacco there.
Yeah. It's legal in Denver
You bet.
And Seattle.
and Seattle. And what did we just hear in the news? The petition to legalize medicinal marijuana in North Dakota has been approved by the Secretary of State.
It will be circulating.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hopefully they'll remember where they left it this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the old Carlin
okay.
joke.
Yeah, it is.
They will. There's a lot of regulations they're proposing there, so I don't know what that'll have an effect if it would pass. You know, how hard does it make it to actually get it? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good
I don't
question,
know.
but
My jury is
you're-
still out on that whole deal.
Your wife will.
She'll get to deal with it. Well, this will
Maybe
be
get
a vote of the
involved.
people,
That's right.
but
yeah.
all the
But
laws and
it'll-
regulations will go to the legislature,
It'll
and
come
if
up.
she's reelected, she'll deal with it.
Well, I would guess she'll be working on it then. All right. Okay. Well, let's see. What do you? Okay, we were talking about the affordability index.
We talked about the Housing Affordability Index.
Okay.
And this is a statistic that the National Association of Realtors puts out, and what they do is they take a current mortgage rate, they apply it with monthly principal and interest payment, and they take that as a percentage of your income. They take the median family income, and then they say you need to have a qualifying income, and a qualifying income, I believe, is like 42% of your overall income. It's in that range, which is
Okay.
about where you qualify.
All right.
And they come up with an affordability index, and it's based on 100. So if you have 100, you're affordable. If you're under 100, you're in trouble.
Okay.
And higher than 100, the better off you are.
Okay. So San Francisco's way under 100.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So
that's our starting point.
right. They divide the country into the Northeast, the Midwest, the South, and the West. They do not take the Eastern Seaboard
Why?
because it's so skewed and it's so expensive that they don't use it.
What did they use San Francisco?
West, and it's not just the coast, but San Francisco's in there, yeah.
Because I just had some. The average median house price in San Francisco now is $1.175 million.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And
But
extra for the bathroom.
yeah, extra for the bat. But the Eastern Seaboard is skewed and they don't use it. Interesting.
No. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I will tell you that a penthouse condo in New York City's Manhattan Island just sold.
Okay.
It will not be completed in 2018.
Oh,
$103 million. 2,200 square feet.
I wouldn't quite make that
I'm
one.
not going to make that work for me either.
No. Okay. That's I don't feel comfortable paying that much, Greg.
Right, I hear you.
Yeah.
So we've got a fixed rate and a composite rate, which is a adjustable rate. And we'll go to the fixed rates to use this. September of 2015 is the last month reporting prior to the one we have now.
Okay.
That housing affordability index on a fixed rate mortgage nationwide was 162.7.
Pretty affordable.
Pretty affordable. Northeast this month was
so Northeast would be like Boston, Maine.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
The median priced single family home is $259,000.
Okay.
Mortgage rate is 4.04, monthly P&I 994, blah blah blah. Median income is 77.5, qualifying income is 47.7, And so that gives the affordability index there of 162.4.
Okay, so affordable.
And a year ago it was 166.4.
So affordable.
Still affordable, still a decline, and a month ago it was 153.4.
Okay, so
South.
that's actually that number, median house price, and that's pretty close to Bismarck.
It's not bad. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
We're Midwest. I'll get back to that one. South is 195. 4.11 is the average interest rate. 62.7 is the average income.
So South, we're talking Florida.
Bible Belt.
So Mississippi.
Texas. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And Arizona. And these houses are still somewhat deflated, and affordability is still somewhat deflated based on...
You throw Arizona in there, yeah.
Based on the bust in 2008. So we have 62.7 is the average income, 36.2 is the qualifying income, and their affordability index is 166.1.
Okay.
That's not bad. The West, and here we go, San Francisco and all of those guys, the median existing family house is 321.6.
Wow.
And based on a $71,000 income, so the average median income is not that much greater than most places for those prices. 59.6 is the qualifying income, and their fixed rate affordability index is 118.1.
Okay. So affordable.
Affordable, but
right. Compared to the rest of the country.
Okay, now let's do Midwest. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay.
Median price is 175.5.
Oh, that's a lot less than here.
It's a lot less than here, but it's about, if you look at Minneapolis and if you look at South Dakota and Iowa, that's right in there.
Okay.
Interest rates, they're talking about 4.15. Income, 67.6. Qualifying income, 32,736. And the affordable index is, are you sitting down? 198.3.
Wow. Okay.
So if you're going to buy a house and you're in the Midwest, you got a better shot at it here than anywhere.
Yeah. So, but our affordability index
easy for you to say,
right, in North Dakota and maybe Bismarck, Mandan,
it's not going to be that
not
high.
that good.
No, it's going to be in the 170s.
Now, Fargo's numbers are pretty comparable to that.
Yep.
Fargo's pretty close. So, like Grand Forks, maybe not so much, but in Bismarck, not so much. But we'd still be affordable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're still the best of nationwide.
Yeah.
We're still in the best area.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
and Dickinson and Williston are probably not quite as affordable as we are at this point.
But then there are very high-paying jobs.
Yeah.
Especially in the Williston.
That'll throw that off, too.
McKenzie County area and stuff, so that their income is higher up there on an average probably.
Yes. And then just briefly, the other statistic that the National Association looks at is called pending home sales. Homes that have not finished their sale but are sold.
Okay.
We're waiting for the closing, things to happen. And those, I'm just going to touch on them. They look really good. The South, they're off 3.3%. In the West, they're up 10.4%. In the Midwest, they're up 3.3%. In the Northeast, they're up 6.8%. So,
okay, what were we up Midwest?
Midwest, they're up 3.3%.
Okay. So the West is up the highest, 10.
Yeah.
And does that include a place like Nevada, Arizona, or is Arizona the South?
Arizona would be, let me double check that. Arizona would be west. New Mexico, Texas is south.
I was going to say, because, Phoenix area was depressed, and you had, there's a lot of people from here that were buying homes down there. And probably still are.
And Seattle is experiencing a huge boom in housing.
Okay.
That area.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. All right. Well, in San Francisco, for some reason, they keep buying homes there. Silicon Valley, right?
Yeah.
The
thing about San Francisco is, I think, it's pretty much surrounded by Silicon Valley vineyards, and their opportunity to grow out is fairly limited. They have to grow up,
right? Yeah.
And that's more expensive.
Their wealth
housing
is amazing out there.
Yeah. So that's a big part of that.
Yeah, and I saw something. I didn't show you this, but there's a house for sale in San Francisco, and it was a earthquake shack, they call it.
Earthquake shack.
And I have to find it here, but it was
Jim, do you know what an earthquake shack is?
It was listed for $350,000.
I've heard of the Love Shack and the Sugar Shack.
Listed for $350,000. That's $458 per square foot. It's 765 square feet. Now, that's a bargain in the San Francisco market because the average price per square foot in San Francisco is $957,000.
Wow.
There it is. We're showing a picture, Greg, a picture here.
Okay,
But it's an earthquake shack. And from the earthquake of 1906,
Okay.
they built these little homes to house people that had lost their homes in the earthquake in 1906. And a lot of them, remain in the city. And people have bought these and fixed them up and renovated them. This is one of the last ones that has not been fixed up. Somebody was living in it.
Really?
Yes. And now she's selling it.
Wow. Folks, I'm looking at this thing, and on either side of this house are two-story large, well, they aren't large,
They're not
but
large.
two-story single-family homes, single-stall garage. Looks like the living area is probably on the second floor. They're all barred up, kind of, and right stuck in the middle of it is what could be best described as a three-stall doghouse.
Yeah. Well, look, you know what it looks like? I had a playhouse.
It looks like a
in my
playhouse stuck
backyard
between these
when
two.
I was growing up.
765 square feet.
That my dad had built. That's about what that looks like. That is amazing. You can show that to your cohorts there.
That's fun.
Yeah.
It's a tiny house.
It is a tiny house.
If it were dressed up, it'd look like one of those beach houses on Key West. Those little tiny postage stamp houses.
Yeah, it was just something that you have. It's like,
There you go. I've never heard of an earthquake shack.
Don't move to San Francisco, folks.
Well, not to that house.
No. I don't even know how you fix it up, but what do you got? You have a playhouse.
All right. I just wanted you to take a moment, take a little bow, a little moment of silence. In
okay.
1979, the last AMC Pacer rolled off the assembly line
Oh,
today.
man, the Pacer. Yeah,
The fishbowl, the gold fish car.
yeah, those are nice.
Okay, so we're wrapping up to a
Okay, well,
break. What are we going to do?
Well, I got. Okay, this comes from the National Association of Realtors. They compared the
I know those
increase
guys.
in housing prices over the last 30 years. So we were just talking about housing prices. 14 median sale price of existing single-family home was $207,000. That's almost 2.6 times as much as it was 30 years ago. Okay, so the NAR looked at other 5 items that also climbed in price, or five everyday items, and what happened to them. A Big Mac went from $1.60 to $4.62. Cell phones went down from an asking price of $3,995.84 to an average of $199 today, but of course that depends on carrier and plan and everything. Shares in a stock, household name 30 years ago, Radio Shack. Stock was $76.63 in 1999. It's 2 cents today for
Ouch.
Radio Shack stock. So housing prices did better than the cell phone prices and better than Radio Shack, and not as much as a Big Mac.
There you go.
Okay, all right.
And go ahead.
Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Iron Man. Who's
Yeah.
Iron Man? Jim? That's Jim. Jim's Iron Man today.
All right. We'll be back.
Currently, it's 36.
Super Talk 1270, home of the Bismarck Bobcats and high school sports. Listen online or anywhere on the Radio Pub app. Super Talk 1270.
And welcome back to the Dakota Housing Network. I'm Greg Larson, along with
Dave Floor.
and Jim Walsh, our radio wizard.
Ozzy doing a ballad.
Yep. Which is amazing.
Yeah. It was a hit. Yeah. Okay.
Does he know that?
I don't. I think somebody said, just sing this, Ozzy. We'll fix it.
Yeah. Another organization or group is celebrating a birthday as today in 1818, Illinois became the 21st state.
1818.
1818, they became the 21st state, and they've been trying to get rid of Chicago ever since.
Oh, boy. Yeah. They're having problems there.
Yes, they
Their
are.
police chief just resigned, and they're calling for the mayor's resignation. And
Yeah. Well, Illinois has the distinction of having more governors in jail than anybody else. That's something to shoot for.
that is, that certainly is. You
And the
any
motto on
other-
election day is vote early, vote often.
Yep, there you go. I got a couple.
More fun facts?
Yeah.
Okay.
In 1967, today, December 3rd, the first human heart transplant was performed
Okay.
in Cape Town, South Africa by Dr. Bernard,
Yeah, okay.
who Did them for years down there.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's interesting. It ended up in South Africa where the first one of those would be done.
Yeah, and he was a doctor. He was from South Africa, but he did a lot of work at Mayo Clinic in Minnesota.
Okay,
So,
all right.
you know.
Cool, all right.
And on this day in 1776, General George Washington and the troops reached the Delaware River.
Ah, yes, that day is coming up. Boy, it took them a while to get across.
Took them a while to get across.
They're just hanging out.
Had to, float alone to buy a boat. I don't know.
Probably. Well, that leads me to my next.
There we go.
My next thing right here, Greg. Credit. That's always an issue.
Yes.
For people, we talk about it out here often, and people don't have credit. Well, there's a new way to establish a credit history.
Really?
Use your phone, your smartphone.
You use your smartphone to establish credit.
George Washington, if he would have had a smartphone back then, he could have
borrowed the money
to get across the Delaware sooner. Some bank would have said, "Okay, good deal. We're good. You're using it wisely. You're trying to defeat the British, and we're all for that. So we'll give you a little microloan to fix your boat and get it across." Okay, but anyway,
there's got to be a float your boat joke in there, but I can't
there
think
is,
of it.
yeah, we don't know. If we knew what it was, we'd tell you. But no, really, folks, there's a Silicon Valley startup, several of them. I'm just reading from the article. They're looking to revolutionize lending in the developing world. This is not in the United States here, where banks are scarce and would-be borrowers have no credit history. So they're really looking at doing like micro lending, where they talk about, somebody needs to a taxi driver needs to pay for gas, fruit seller to stock up on produce, so they loan them like $30, $20. Okay, but what they're doing is they're using the person's smartphone usage to determine whether someone is a good risk or not. Now, what they've come up with, the people obviously have to be willing to turn over their cell phone to the lender and say, here's what I'm doing, okay? And they throw it into a computation with some algorithms, and it spits the information out, telling them good risk or bad risk. Well, here's what they're looking for. Okay, a good risk is if someone makes more calls in the evening, which indicates price sensitivity. Off-peak calls are cheaper. Now, that's, here we've just got, cell phone, you call whenever, and it's the same price, right? Okay. Text volume and frequency. Getting more text than you send correlates with higher credit worthiness. So it means people are asking for you versus you asking for help. I don't know if that's how it works. And then, a little bit weird way to think about this, gambling. Data shows that gamblers are more likely to repay loans. Which I guess if they don't repay loans, they're going to be in trouble.
They get their legs broken.
So in a developing world, it probably is a little bit more like the old mob days here.
Yeah, you get a visit from 14-week Freddy.
Yeah, that's right.
So they call him that. That's how long you're out of work after you meet him.
So that's what they look at. Now, bad risks is you send more text than you receive. Battery draining. The more quickly you drain your battery, the less creditworthy you are.
Really?
So it must be like you're just goofing off. You're on Facebook or something.
Or your phone is old and the battery's dying.
Or it could be that too. But that would be a compensating factor that I need the loan to buy the new phone so I can run my business, right? Yeah. Okay. And then infrequent travel. Data shows that people who don't go to diverse locations are less dependable borrowers. Okay. Now, if you're a cab driver in, pick New Guinea or something, okay.
Yeah.
What's the capability of traveling to the United States?
Right.
Kind of slim, isn't it? So I don't know where that fits in necessarily.
I don't know.
Yeah,
they have it all figured out. Of course, it's perfect. Nothing can go wrong.
It's interesting what you can do with the data usage we do. What we do on a daily basis through our technology, what that can be used for. And this is another use of it.
So if I'm going to go buy a car, I'm going to have all my friends text me, and I'm not going to respond. I'll crack my credit rating way up. I can get a better interest rate.
Apparently.
What a deal.
Yeah. I don't know. So, and if you're texting a lot, maybe they think, well, you're texting and driving, and then you wouldn't be a good.
That could be. Yeah. Then the cops will come looking.
Well, then
for
the insurance companies would want that data to find out.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah. They'll say, well, hey, you're a you're a salesperson, you're driving around all the time, and you've got all these texts.
Wow.
You're bad risk on the insurance side because you're probably texting and driving.
Or we could be overthinking this thing.
We could be. But, we like to do that, right?
Yeah.
But I just find it amazing that, we all this data is on us out there.
Yeah.
And what it can be used for is kind of, this is, I don't know, it's maybe a little, no, not a big deal, but, it could, I guess it just seems like, man, there's a lot of stuff that could be used for that really, I don't want it to be used for.
Yeah. It's like that old commercial. That's it. I'm going off the grid. The answer is you can't go off the grid.
On the grid. Yeah. So, but really, folks, to build your credit, do it the regular way.
Do that. Pay your bills on time.
Make sure you have a checking savings account. Use your credit cards carefully. Open a credit card account if you don't have one. What else are the usual things? Make sure you pay on time. Know what's in your credit report, and then. Just be good. Just be a good paying customer, and it'll kind of take care of itself.
Speaking of credit cards,
but in the future, you could see stuff like this happening because there is talk about using Facebook.
Yeah,
you're looking at your Facebook friends actually to see whether or not that would affect your credit score because it depends what they're like affects what they think you're.
I'm
like.
friends with Ed Schaefer, so I'm in good shape.
You're in good shape.
Yeah.
Okay. How does that help
I'll
you?
just refer him to Ed. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Good reputation.
Good rep. Yeah. Well, he's the president of the university now.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
As of January something.
Yeah, January 1st or 2nd, whatever. Yeah. I think that's a good move. I like Governor Ed. Yeah. Good man.
Believe a little bit of trivia. I believe he's the only governor that ever vetoed a higher education bill budget.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, he's got that going for him.
Yes,
maybe.
stamp him red, Ed. I like it. I like it.
Okay. All right.
So we talked earlier, and we were going to talk as we closed about selling your home in the wintertime.
Oh, yeah, I got that. Where do I have it, Greg?
I don't know.
Okay, there is an article that I read. Why it pays to list your home in the winter. And what they say, it pays to list in winter when buyers tend to have more urgency. This is from, Time.com, Time magazine. The online brokerage Redfin found that average sellers net more above asking price during the months of December, January, February, March than they do from June through November, even in cold weather cities like Boston and Chicago. And homes listed in winter sold faster than those posted in the spring. What say you, Greg Larson, to that?
I say, that's true. They talk about the holiday season, housing sales drop off, and they do. Mm-hmm. They do. But between Thanksgiving and first of the year, this year in Bismarck, Mandan, there will be $60 million worth of single-family homes sold.
Okay.
That's a lot of homes.
That's a pretty good number.
So the numbers are off a little bit at that time, but the people that are buying are serious about buying. Mm-hmm. They don't want to mess around. They want to get into a house, and they're actively buying. So it's a good time. Like at any time of the year, the best advice is don't shoot for blue sky.
Okay.
I know people put their home on the market just to see. Just to see if they can get that much money.
Okay.
And that's okay. You can do that, and then you can sit around and keep your house way too clean and be displaced whenever everybody wants to see it.
Yeah.
But the best advice, no matter what time you sell your house, is to make sure you have it priced according to the market.
Yeah. And
so
folks,
that people want to look at it.
Talk to a real estate agent.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but I'm glad you did. And talk to your loan officers. Get pre-qualified first.
Yes.
But make sure when you're going to sell your house that it's ready to sell, number one, that you're ready to sell it, and that it is priced according to the market, and you'll do just fine.
Because if you think my neighbor's house sold for that much the last summer, I'm going to price it
out. And my house is a whole lot nicer than theirs.
It's
so
not the same. So anyway.
So
call your, if you want to sell your house, call your realtor today.
Call your favorite realtor today. And remember, there's lots of money to be loaned, and there's good loan officers. Find one and do it right.
All right. Well, happy birthday to Ozzy
Happy
Osbourne.
birthday to Osborne. Happy birthday to Illinois.
Yeah, okay. Jim, when's your birthday?
January.
Okay, well,
it's coming up.
All right, we'll be excited.
All right.
Who knows what will happen.
And we will see you next week at the same time, 11 a.m. on Thursday.
Bye, folks.
Thanks. Talk to you later.
This has been the Dakota Housing Network on Super Talk 1270. Join us again next Thursday morning at 11 a.m. The Dakota Housing Network is heard weekly right here on Super Talk 1270 and online at supertalk1270.com.
ABC News, Super Talk 1270. Accurate news, stimulating talk. This is KLXX AM, Mandan, Bismarck.